Hello, my name is David Sliker. I'm the president of the International House of Prayer University here at the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, where we've been doing night and day prayer in our prayer room with worship for almost 25 years. We love that we have the privilege and the joy of being able to be here with thousands of others that the Lord has called, and then millions around the world, that we get to be here to contend and to engage with what the Lord's doing in this generation for prayer, for worship, related to the return of Jesus, the Great Commission. This is our honor. During the 21-day fast for Israel, for me, I've been in ministry and leadership for the past 30 years. Get people to pray for Israel, to get any Christian to pray for Israel for more than a few days, to get them to pray with fasting for more than a day, as a leader is so difficult to do. It doesn't seem like it makes my own life better. It doesn't seem like it helps me to pray and fast in a long-term way for Israel. But what I saw was the miracle, because I did evenings. I was in the prayer room from 12 noon to 12 at night. And so I would see during what we call our night watch, which is midnight to 6 a.m., I would see hundreds of young people come in. And then in the evenings, where I helped give leadership during the fast, we saw hundreds of teenagers and young people and college students come in the evenings. And so to see for 21 days, all of our young people in the school, all of our young people in our training, hundreds of young people, college students, teenagers, praying together, fasting together for Israel. Every set, every song, every phrase that they would sing, they're singing for Israel. We just had a time yesterday where our students were sharing with us as a leadership team how the fast impacted them. And they talked about how shocked they were that as a 22-year-old, as a 20-year-old, it was shocking to pray for 21 days for Israel and enjoy it, to really love it, that their hearts were alive in it, that their hearts were moved. And then at the end of the night, when it was time to leave, they didn't want to leave. That's incredible to me, because the presence of the Lord was so sweet, and there was such an awakening of the heart. In all the years that I've been in ministry with teenagers and young adults, I've never seen anything like it. Never. It's one of the most enjoyable long fasts I've ever done with a group of people in my life. I've never seen the Lord do more in a fast than I saw in this one. Really simple encouragement. No one has a heart for Israel automatically. But guess what? No one has a heart for the lost automatically. Like, no one starts out a fiery evangelist. Hardly anybody. You get those things because you talk to the Lord about those things. You start with a cold heart. You start disconnected. We don't actually read that much of the Bible. We don't talk, and we never talk to the Lord about the Bible that we read. We hardly ever do. But when we begin to, when we start actually reading the Bible, when we start to actually talk to Jesus about what's in the Bible, suddenly our cold heart comes alive, and where we didn't have a heart for the lost, suddenly we start caring for the lost more and more. When we see them, we have an ache that we didn't have before, that they don't know Jesus. And so you don't get a heart for anything that God cares about without God's help. And so the way to start is to go, okay, Jesus, you're burning for Israel's salvation according to the Bible. That's what I've heard. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't know how to pray about it. And the Lord goes, just start by asking me how to pray about it. Just start by asking me about my burning heart. Because we always ask the Lord for the stuff that we need, or we ask the Lord in prayer for the stuff that we want in terms of making our life work. But a true friend of Jesus starts and goes, wait a minute, having nothing to do with me. What are you burning for, Jesus? What are you burning for? What do you care about? What's moving you? And how can I meet you there? And the Lord goes, well, I'm glad somebody asked. I'm glad you asked me. I'll help you get a heart for what my heart is burning for. I'll make your heart burn like mine if you ask me. And so it really does start there. God, I hear it's important to pray for Israel. I don't get it. Help me get it. Jesus, I hear that you're burning for Israel. I'm not. Help me burn. Help me care. And the Lord goes, that's where you start. If you'll start there, Matthew 5, verse 1, if you'll just tell me, I'm poor in spirit, I don't have a heart for these things. Jesus goes, yours is the kingdom of heaven. I'll give you everything if you'll ask me. If you know that you need it, I'll give it to you. And if you ask me for it, I'll help you. But you actually don't have a heart, not because it's so hard to understand. You don't have a heart because you never asked me. And I'll help you. Again, every fast is different. I've said for years, 40-day fasts tend to change my life. 21-day fasts tend to change my heart. But whichever one it's going to be, I usually don't know until a year or two later. And then once I look back and see what the Lord did, I can see it very clearly. But if I try to guess, I'll always miss it. And so, and every fast is different. What the Lord does is different. With this one, I was feeling the joy of unity and family. I've never had an easy time in a fast for 40 days. I've never had an easy time before where it's easy to pray and easy to fast. And it felt like there was wind behind me. And it was the wind of millions doing it with me and hundreds doing it in the room with me. And because we're all doing it together, there was a grace from the Lord for all of us to lean in. And it was just, I would say the thing I experienced wasn't dreams and visions. It was easy and enjoyable prayer, which is its own miracle. Taiwan, I miss you. Taiwan really is one of my favorite places on the earth. It's a very special place to me. I've traveled all over the world. I've actually traveled to Taiwan more than anywhere else in the world. And I take that seriously as a gift from the Lord and an open door from the Lord that is unusual for my life. And so in seeking the Lord, I've just been thankful for the way in which the Lord has connected my heart to the believers and the church and all the Lord's doing there. I believe that Taiwan is a really special, really strategic, really important place from the Lord's perspective, related to what He wants to do, related to the return of His Son, related to that message of the Lord's return and that message of Israel's place. I believe in the days to come, Taiwan is going to get clearer and clearer and clearer on her role in Israel's salvation and the return of the Lord, because it's so strategic from the Lord's perspective. I believe it's true of Singapore as well. I believe those are two very strategic places, Hong Kong as well. Those three places from the Lord's perspective in terms of where this is going in the drama of the Lord's return. I just believe that you that are listening to me right now, you have a real destiny from God's perspective in His global plans for the rest of the earth. And that's pretty unique. That's powerful. And so I just want to say hello, Taiwan. We love you from the International House of Prayer in Kansas City, and we would invite you. I invite you personally. Please come. Please visit. We want you to come and be here with us. One of my favorite things, I lead our school here, our university, and we have a Chinese program. And when we have Chinese students here on campus, here with us in the prayer room, Chinese students, Taiwanese students bring something that nobody else on earth brings. And it's a gift to us when the Lord opens the door for us to receive it. And so we don't just want you, we need you. We can't do this without you. You can't do this without us, but we can't do this without you, and we don't want to. So please come visit us. We can't wait to meet you.